The men's 400-meter freestyle S11 final is next on the program. The world record holder, the great John Morgan, it stood for 32 years, since 1992, with his gold in Barcelona in this event. 2 from China, 2 from Ukraine, Japan, Netherlands, Czechia, and Portugal also represented in this final. And this is the first opportunity to catch Rogier DORSMAN of Netherlands, who will go in lane 4 as the favourite and as the defending champion. The now 25-year-old has cut out some of the sillier mistakes he's made earlier in his career. And he's somebody who's got the ability to claim gold yet again in this event. Let's introduce the finalists in the men's 400-meter freestyle S11. This is one of the 2 straight-to-final events that we have on the schedule. So no heats, no qualifiers. There are only 8 competitors, and they swim directly against one another in the final. Going in lane 8 is ZHANG Bowen, the 24-year-old Asian Paragames bronze medalist who inspired to take up the sport after stories of young Bozun's heroics, the 16-time Paralympic Games medalist. Going in lane 1 is Mykhailo SERBIN of Ukraine, 4th in Tokyo. He's only 20, the 22 World Championship silver medalist. He was the youngest Ukrainian from any sport to win a medal in Tokyo when he won gold in the 100 back as a 17-year-old. Marco Menezes of Portugal goes in lane 7, the 23-year-old, 4th at the World Championships 2 years ago, 4th at the 2024 European Champs as well. Going for Ukraine in lane 2 is Danylo CHUFAROV, the 35-year-old. He won silvers in 2008 and 2012 in the 400 free S13 classification. Bronze at the European Championships earlier this year. HUA Dongdong, the Tokyo bronze medalist, the 25-year-old, another one of the swimmers who is inspired by the great young Bozun, 5-time Paralympic Games champion, but Asian Paragames silver medalist and World Championships bronze medalist. TOMITA Uchu represents Japan and goes in lane 3. He won silver in Tokyo, the man from Kumamoto, 3-time Paralympic Games medalist, but never gold. And he changed that here. The Asian Paragames champion. Now, this is a man who has, I don't want to say come from nowhere, but over the last year, let's say he has certainly developed in rather imperious fashion. David KRATOCHVIL goes for Czechia in lane 5. But going in lane 4 is Rogier DORSMAN, the defending champion, 3-time Paralympic Games gold medalist in Tokyo. The 25-year-old was world champion twice as well. Silver this last year, though. But David KRATOCHVIL, the 16-year-old, he was swimming 451s in 2022. He's improved his time by over 20-odd seconds in 2 years. And is the reigning world champion. And it's been a remarkable upswing for KRATOCHVIL. Japan's TOMITA Uchu. He goes in lane 3. He'll be looking to add to his medal tally from this event at the Paralympic Games. Excited?
Very. I mean, what's hard for this event is that these swimmers didn't have a preliminary session. Also, usually the prelims are good to get out the bunks, the bugs, the kinks, you know, your nerves a little bit. And so these guys are going straight to finals. That's hard. You don't know who's going to come out of nowhere. You don't know how you're going to feel in the water. They obviously had warm up, but it's not the same as the big race.
Challenges articulated by Deb Gruen in straight to final events. There are 2 on the program. This is the first of them, the men's 400-meter freestyle S11. DORSMAN goes in 4, KRATOCHVIL in 5. The The swimmer from Czechia off to a slightly more measured start than DORSMAN, but DORSMAN will settle into his stroke, you feel. HUA Dongdong likes to go out hard, and one wonders if he is going to be leading in the earlier stages of this race, if he's going to try to push in the opening 50 to 100 meters, as he is wont to do. And these swimmers, S11 classification, these are for swimmers who have the most severe visual impairments. Every single one of these swimmers, though, does swim with blackened out goggles, so they can see nothing.
Including each other. That's a really big factor in this race, because these swimmers, well, they can maybe feel a little bit of the splash. They don't know which position they're in at any given time, so they don't know, oh, I have to go a little bit faster at the end in order to catch up. It's extremely important to swim your own race. You need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Right now, HUA Dongdong looks very good heading into the first wall. But as we'll talk about a little bit more as we get into this race, for this particular classification, the key is efficiency. It's swimming in a straight line, because if you start zigzagging throughout the lane, you're going to easily add on another 100 meters, and every single meter counts. Obviously, the longer you swim, the more time that it takes.
Well, that's one of the areas that DORSMAN has been guilty of in the past. We've also seen him missing turns. That's something that he's looked to cut out of his swimming, but he's still looking really strong going in lane 4. It's HUA who still leads the way, but only just from DORSMAN. KRATOCHVIL is still very much in the mix.
What a turn from DORSMAN. DORSMAN now took it into the lead. DORSMAN, it's extremely important, though, that he hugs the lane without getting tangled in the lane. And again, as we had noted before, these swimmers don't know where they are. So DORSMAN doesn't know, for example, that he just took the first position away from the other two swimmers, and that they're snapping right at his waist and his feet coming into this this turn.
But he really goes hard into the turns, does DORSMAN. He looks to build some momentum off the wall. Again, a great turn from DORSMAN. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of KRATOCHVIL, and HUA enjoys taking the race out harder, but then tends to be I don't want to say a little tired, but it shows in the back end, shall we say. DORSMAN, though, grows into his race.
He really does, and the 400 is the longest event that you have at the Paralympics, and in this classification, 400 meters freestyle. So every single 100, some swimmers like to build it, some swimmers like to go out really fast. DORSMAN, he is very controlled, so he didn't take it out too fast. He didn't overswim the first 200. Now really getting into his race. You see how measured he is, not panicking or anything. And right now what he's doing is every single 50, he's extending that lead a little bit more. And from training, he knows his pace, he knows how the water feels, he knows where to stay in the lane. He looks great.
And this is where KRATOCHVIL is going to up his pace.
Yep.
And he's looking to close in on DORSMAN here, but this is where KRATOCHVIL will know he needs to up his pace in the closing stages. He's got some great closing speed, does the young swimmer from Czechia, and he's very capable of going 4:30 odd in this race.
But don't count out DORSMAN. He's a very experienced 400-meter freestyler. But here comes KRATOCHVIL putting on the legs right at the end. It is a battle between the two of them.
So KRATOCHVIL at the moment hugging the lane rope on his right, DORSMAN a little closer to the lane rope on his left, but KRATOCHVIL with that higher kick rate, he's just intensified the swimming. The stroke rate is looking really strong from the swimmer from Czechia, who have yet to medal and find a gold medal at these games, I should say. KRATOCHVIL good off the wall, DORSMAN too, but KRATOCHVIL at the moment looks to be leading by some margin. Now HUA, who was looking for a bronze medal perhaps, has seen TOMITA go into third, and TOMITA Uchu enjoys closing quickly. At the moment he's closing with a kind of speed that might even see him catch DORSMAN. This is a little unlike Rogier DORSMAN that we've seen, but this is a lot like KRATOCHVIL in what we've seen from this youngster in recent times. He's going to take gold, and rather emphatically in the race. KRATOCHVIL of Czechia is on top of the men's 400-meter freestyle S11. DORSMAN takes silver, and TOMITA with the bronze medal. That was some swim from the teenager. Coming home in 33s. DORSMAN 35s. Well, he's absolutely exerted himself, but he can delight in his achievement. ZHANG Bowen is still in the pool and making his way to the wall now. Touches in 5:22.77, outside his best. But KRATOCHVIL is champion of the men's 400-meter freestyle S11. He's beaten the Tokyo gold medalist DORSMAN into silver.
And I will say that was kind of a surprising swim from DORSMAN, who had just been 4:26.57 in Portugal in 2024, so not that long ago. And you see, at the beginning, HUA Dongdong was the one who really took this 400 free out hard, maybe a little bit too hard, because he wasn't able to stay with the other swimmers throughout the race. And it's so important that you swim your own race here. And here's KRATOCHVIL. This is one of the final turns. He goes in, and he really turned on his legs during this last 50 meters and flew way past DORSMAN, who just faded to the silver medal position.
A couple of 33s to finish from the swimmer from Czechia. He knew he needed to up the tempo. And indeed, he's done precisely that. We're just waiting for the official results.